All right, welcome to Feisty Chess. I've got white against L-Road on Lichess. Let's play e4 as always. Maybe someday, way on down the line, I'll play d4. I'll play it now though, after the Sicilian. d4 takes. I'm going to mix up the move order a bit here with my Smith Morra. I'm going to go with knight f3 here and leave it up to black how to continue. If he goes knight f6, okay, then we can still do a Morra. Knight c6. d6 or knight f6 would mean we're going to do something else. All right. Now he could get d5 in there. Okay, he missed a chance for d5. I need to prevent bishop g4 in this system. I'm going to get the Morozzi bind here. So we're going with Morra declined. I wonder if he would have accepted if I'd played the Morra straight out of the gate. So our setup is going to involve knight to c3. Oops. Knight to c3, bishop to e3, rook to c1. And then the queen will maybe wait and see. A lot of times you can get this structure with b3, and then you can slide the bishop back to b1 out of harm's way. But the bishop's often kind of dormant for a while behind these central pawns. The pawns are the main way I'm kind of dominating on the light squares. The idea of the Morozzi bind is there's no way for black to get d5 in because I got both of these covering it. Okay, we're going to get rook to c1 in, get off that diagonal with the bishop. And now if he goes knight b4, I can just drop the bishop back here. Although, well, it probably wouldn't be too terrible to let that bishop go, since it's my bad bishop. Say hi to Chewy. Let's put our queen on e2. I could go e2 or d2, but I like having it on e2. With d2, the idea would be maybe trade this bishop off on h6. But I like the idea of putting a rook on this file to oppose the queen. It's just a little more Morra-like, I guess. Got a bit of an ant problem lately. Okay, it also provides extra, there we go, rook d1, and our rooks are right there in their Morra spots. The only difference is we have a pawn on c4. If black had accepted the gambit, our bishop would be here, and there wouldn't be no pawn there. But this is probably objectively better. For white. I think there are good ways to decline the gambit, but I don't think this is one of them. Okay. Now is a good time to play this bishop back here. Let's just tuck that away now that our rooks are active. It's another guard on a2. See what black wants to do. Now I can have ideas, maybe knight d4 and then f4. So if he goes queen h5, I'll have to think of something else. He wants to recapture with the queen here if I take. If I don't take, he takes. Maybe now's a good time to play knight d5. Knight d5 takes. My rook still guards this pawn. So, yeah, knight d5. The critical line here is takes, and then queen's got to take. And then take. I suppose I could take with either pawn. But if I want to open up that bishop, then I take here. And this pawn is still guarded by my rook. All right. Looks more complicated than it is. Let me go knight d5. This is a threat too. It threatens a fork on e7. Also is a nice way of defending this pawn. Improving my knight. And I like the idea of blocking up the 5th rank so the queen can't slide over to h5. I think it's annoying when the queen goes to h5. Okay, I don't want to open up the file that the rook is on. Yeah, we're still good here. Still good. So I like opening this up. Now this is black's main weakness, e7. If he takes my knight, I retake, and I only need one defender here. Okay. Now my queen's lined up with his rook. Oh, and the other problem is I'm giving up the bishop. I'm giving up b2. I have a cat playing drums behind me. Hopefully that's not going to be too much of a distraction. Okay, well, rook c2 is the obvious move here. But I'm thinking about bishop d4 and how much trouble could my dark square bishop cause if he doesn't go for the trade. If he doesn't go for the exchange, that is. Also got bishop h6 as an idea. Okay. Is there any advantage to getting my rook up here? No, it runs into something like bishop here too. I think I've got to give up the exchange here. Rook. All right, I should have got b3 in earlier like I talked about. But rook here, bishop comes there. I guess I'm okay. Oh no, well, I'm hitting the bishop. I'm hitting the bishop. So, okay. Let's do this. Maybe we can get some activity. I have to watch out for bishop a4, so I can't leave my rook on this square, can I? I should have anticipated that before playing this. Maybe rook e2. Looks pretty good. Ah, but then I'm not guarding c4 in that case. Okay, this is pretty bad. I was planning on playing b3 earlier just to solidify things, and now that's not possible. So he's probably going to go bishop back to g7. That would make sense. Okay, this makes even more sense, I suppose. Now is this a good chance to sack the exchange? This might be the chance I need. Okay, this is a favorable way to sack the exchange. Be down the exchange and a pawn, but the bishop pair hopefully compensates, because now bishop d4 is coming, and I got dark square threats. I also have this light square bishop pointed over at this somewhat weakened king side. So, wait, this queen is basically trapped. No, she's got b4. She's got b4, and then yeah, b4, and then I got bishop d3, I guess. So probably queen b4. a1 doesn't look that good, does it? No, a1. What am I thinking? a1 doesn't even get out of the bishop's scope, so got to go queen b4 here. Oh, that just drops a queen. I'm glad I'm not the only one just missing things. Those long lateral queen moves. He had to go b4 there. Well, okay. Well, it happens. Even at 2,000 and above, this stuff can happen in rapid games. So is black going to play on? Yes, he is. Let's just get this bishop out of harm's way. Maybe we'll go queen b2. Maybe we can go rook d4, try to trade. Queen b2 would be a double attack on mate, obviously, and this pawn. So, okay, looks like we're going to get that. Any reason not to play bishop d3 here? Let's do this first. All right, he does have a rook and a couple of pawns for the queen. No, wait. What is the material imbalance here? He's up 2 pawns, but he's up an exchange, but I'm up a queen for that exchange. That's what we're at. Okay. I just got to make moves that don't give the game away here. Maybe I'll play king h2 just to avoid any forks on the back rank. Actually, bishop b2 and rook c1 looks fine too. Well, let's just do that. Nothing complicated here. Now my bishop's control. all the squares on that file on my side of the board. Maybe queen e3, probe that weakness. Well, I'd say you're safe to tune out here, but I've blown this kind of thing before, so you never know. You never know what might happen. Okay. Real fancy move here would be queen g5. Too fancy. Let's just trade some stuff off. He can have that pawn. My bishop pair is looking good here. Okay, we're hitting that. Would hit it with check if we were to hit it. If he tries king f7, there's bishop c4. King f8 might be better. Oh, that works. Make a tricky-ish move here, king h2. I want to hit this, hit that rook, and then come at it again with bishop here. Threat is here, and then if he comes there, I guess he doesn't have to come there. Anyway, there's no more back rank checks. Bishop c1 looks pretty good here. His rook doesn't have access to the king side anymore. Bishop c1, and that would be a threat. Bishop c1 would threaten this check, and then let's do it. Yeah, let's do it. This check, and then if he goes, he has to go to one of these squares, at which point there's just this pin to win the rook. Black's also way down on time. Okay, you saw that threat. Let's get in there. Okay, now I'm looking at this sacrifice. Yeah, it looks really good. I mean, let's be a little artistic here anyway. And we're coming at him with a mate. pretty quick here, I think. Yeah. Well. Let's see, do I want to take this first? Yeah, I think so. And now what to do about this mate? Nothing, I think. Just a mate in one, nothing to be done. Not even a spite check. Well, there might be a minute of clock to expire. That might be what we have to endure here. Well, how about some cat entertainment? Come here, Chewy. I've got both of these cats around here. Witness to the slaughter. Okay. Well, let's just. So we had this interesting move order thing. We'll talk about that in a sec. We'll get to the analysis board. Okay. Good game. Elrode. All right. So I usually play the Smith-Morra directly here, d4 and then c3. One of the little things you can do is knight f3. So if a Sicilian player has a certain set of moves they do against the Smith-Morra, you could throw them off with this if you're ready for all sorts of things. The thing is, if they play knight f6, you have to play e5 here. There's no good way to go into the Smith-Morra at that point. Same actually with d6, because if you play c3 here, then knight f6, and you don't have d5, e5 even, you got to play some junk like this to hold that pawn. Or, okay, this is not so bad. Bishop d3, and then he accepts your Morra. Well, you're down a tempo, which is like being down a pawn in the Morra, right? You're not in a good spot. Actually, I think he can get d5 in right now. In which case, we're not really in a Morra anymore. No, he can. He can manage that because these tactics. No, he can't. No, he can't manage that. So I'm going to win that knight. Anyway, it's a very different game. He doesn't need d5. He's got a regular Sicilian here where I've played bishop d3, but he's up a pawn. We've got an inferior Morra is what we've got. So anyway, if he goes d6, you've got to go into, well, the open Sicilian with knight takes or the Chekhover with queen takes. He's going to play e5 if you don't take something there. I mean, maybe there's other moves, I don't know, but I'd play one of those too. But anyway, he went with knight c6, and then we got into this Morra here. Now, maybe he would have taken, and maybe we threw him off a little bit. It's impossible to know. But maybe he would have taken here if I had done this a move earlier on c3 right here, right? Maybe he had a line that was accepted that didn't involve knight c6, but we got him to play knight c6, and then he goes for the declined line. And I think this is a win for black. I mean, not a win, but this is a little victory for black because he can get d5 in here now immediately, and his game is totally fine. The computer probably prefers black a little bit, actually. Well, no, wow, the computer prefers white after c4. Even though it took us 2 moves to play it. Anyway, I wanted to prevent bishop to g4 above all, and then I wanted to get my Morozzi bind in, and now we're in a position that's very familiar. And there's lots of games in the database. We've got 86 games in the database from this position. So bishop e3 is the main move. Yeah, queen d2 is the usual move, so rook c1. Yeah, but you got a Morozzi bind, and white's got an advantage here. So it's a shame. This was a good game. And this is what I didn't see after all these trades. I wonder if taking with the pawn here is better than letting this go. But anyway, what happened was interesting. Likes black quite a bit here. Rook c2 is the move for the computer. And then bishop e5. Queen a3. Well, queen e2 is an idea, I suppose. But I went for the exchange sacrifice. Yeah, and queen b4 is the only move here. The computer really likes black. You got to go bishop d3 if you want to hang on to that pawn. And you want to hang on to that pawn because that allows you to hang on to this pawn. Yeah, but black can just chip away with bishop b5 anyway, huh? Oh, and we can't take because that pawn is pinned. Yeah, so this is trouble for black. It's a shame he didn't see that queen a3 just hangs a whole queen. And then the rest of the game was not much to it. Yeah, when you're up this much material, it's fun to sacrifice material for a nice mating attack. Yeah, and there we have it. So yeah, black doesn't have a single move that can guard this square. He can't move his king anywhere. He can't check me. So that's the game. All right. Stay feisty, folks. Hope you enjoyed this.